God, is this who we are? Is this what we represent?
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. This is Brownsugar Commentary, and I'm your girl, Kayla. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more videos. All right, let's get right into it. So, patriarchy, misogyny, sexism, slut shaming, all those things have a hold on my people. They have a chokehold, if you will, on my people, and it's really unacceptable at this point. Like, it's 2021. Why? And right now I want to talk about Miss Chloe Bailey from Chloe X Halle, because y'all really made the good sis cry, and I hate it for her. I hate it for her. I hate it for us. I hate it here. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it makes perfect sense because I know exactly why, but we're gonna get right into all of that today, honey. All right, so like I said, we have Chloe Bailey of Chloe X Halle, and they have been really doing the damn thing all summer long. They had an album that was truly phenomenal, and they've been killing the quarantine performances. And I feel like with every performance, I feel like both of them as a duo, but especially Chloe, has been getting real confident on stage and really feeling herself on stage. She be dancing, she be having a good time, and doing whatever. And I've noticed this since then, especially the more recent performances of a lot of people bothering her and saying, "Oh, look at Chloe," or "Chloe is doing too much," or they'll bother Haley and be like, "Oh, why isn't Haley doing as much as Chloe's doing?" Or "Chloe's doing a lot," and "Oh, she's twerking on stage," and "Oh, she's touching herself. Like, what's that about? Like, she's the real whatever," or talking about the outfits that she's wearing on stage. Like, it's a whole big thing. And I mean, majority of it has been praised, but there's always those two nignogs that are talking and giving their 2 cents that no one asked for. Okay? And then now, nowadays TikTok is a big thing, and TikTok is, since quarantine, has been really unanimous with these challenges. Most of them are like makeover challenges, like you see somebody looking busted and then they come out dressed really nice, or it was they face beat down, or a dancing challenge or something. And definitely with these recent months, it's been more of a thing, especially on the more, I guess, provocative side, of women just more doing these challenges and having a good time. They twerking, they're wearing really cute clothes, they looking gorgeous. I live for these challenges. I said, let me tell you something. If I had the D's, I would have definitely did the busted challenge. Okay, but I do not, and I don't want to embarrass myself. But so it's been the busted challenge, and now it's the silhouette challenge. And like I said, really just boils down to because people ain't been seeing nobody like that. Like, people is lonely. Like, they're lonely. They haven't been able to wear their cute little outfits. We've been doing a lot of retail therapy and buying all these clothes that we never gonna be able to wear nowhere, because this panoramic is not looking like the end is nowhere near in sight, because y'all are selfish. Story for another time. Conversation for another time. But that's what the busted challenge is about, showing people them style your knees, okay? Having a good time. And now we have the silhouette challenge. Silhouette challenge is not really one about wearing any clothes. It's more about like people's literal silhouette in red lights. And once again, I ain't mad at it. I'm like, there's something really, I don't know, powerful, beautiful about a woman's body. Like, it's really just dope, and something really great when a woman is confident in the skin that she's in, because and I'm going to get into why I think a lot of these women and men have a problem when women do challenges like this. But before we get there, we have Chloe. And Chloe did the busted challenge, and she killed it. Great job, okay? Because now Chloe and Halle, they used to have a joint Instagram, and now they have separate ones. So she's been getting to do what she didn't really get to do with the joint Instagram. She gets to take more pictures of herself. She's doing a lot of dancing. And so she did like a celebration of getting 1 million followers by doing a little dance, a little sensual dance. Nothing wrong with it, okay? And then, but people, and listen, she has a nice shape. Like, she got thighs. She got a waist, you know what I mean? Like a little small waist or whatever. She has a good body shape. And so, and like I tell you, if I was Chloe, I would never wear clothes, okay? I would never wear clothes. Y'all would see me with net on all the time. I'd be in a bikini all the time, because why not? Even if she didn't have a nice shape, it's her damn business. Like, you know what I mean? But people have been, like I said, talking a lot, saying, oh, she's doing too much. Oh, she needs to keep it modest. Oh, she's never going to attract a man doing all of that. Why is she doing all of that? And she took it to Instagram Live to the point of tears, where she was basically saying, like, it took her mad long to embrace herself and embrace her body. And she feels empowered, and, you know, she feels good about herself. And that is something that is truly beautiful to see. Not, you know, like, when a woman, like I said, the world, from the time we're young, we have been told what a woman is, what they're supposed to look like. What is the first toys you ever received as a girl? A Barbie doll. And Barbie dolls are blonde, for the most part, blonde, blue eyes, white girl, okay? And she has a very unattainable figure. I remember someone, you know, gave the dimensions of what Barbie's, you know, her bust size, her waist, and like her overall dimensions, and it's very unattainable today. But she literally, every girl has owned a Barbie so long as like Barbies existed, and those Barbie's supposed to be the pinnacle of beauty. And even her feet are constantly in tiptoes because she's meant to wear heels all the time. So these are the beauty standards that have been forced upon us since we were kids. We have been told that we need to aspire to marriage, right? Like, that's the overall goal, you know? Get older, find a man, get married as young as you can so that your biological clock don't run out, and you can have kids. And that is the pinnacle of your life, right? And then that's it. Like, all you are is just to be beautiful and be marketable to men. Even with women, how many friendships have you gotten rid of, or friendships ended because of a man? We take so much crap from men, but we do not do that in friendships, right? We'll drop a friendship real quick. And I'm not saying to keep toxic people in your life. No, what I'm saying is we excuse a lot of stupid behavior from men because of, you know, hormones. But we won't do that for our girlfriends. There are girls who sit there and pride themselves on not having women friends. Like, oh, I would never have women friends because they're messy and da-da-da. Men ain't messy. Men are very messy, okay? So I don't know what you act like that's some type of prize. You need girlfriends. Girlfriends are great. Like, when you get good, if you get a solid, like, group of friends, like women friends, it's the most best times of your life. You can be vulnerable. You can have fun with each other. But instead, you want to be more competitive to men and be like, oh, I have nothing but guy friends. That makes me better because I'm not into that stuff that these other girls are. I'm not like the other girls. Like, what? This all just makes me think about in the Beyonce song Flawless, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie has this speech. It's an excerpt from her speech where she says, because I am female, I am expected to aspire to marriage. I am expected to make my life choices, always keeping in mind that marriage is the most important. Now, marriage can be a source of joy and love and mutual support, but why do we teach girls to aspire to marriage and we don't teach boys the same? We raise girls to see each other as competitors, not for jobs or for accomplishments, which I think can be a good thing, but for the attention of men. We teach girls that they cannot be sexual beings in the way that boys are. And that's pretty much right there. I told you. And I mean, like I said, it's this whole patriarchy type of world that we live in. So I attribute a lot of this criticism of people like a Chloe to patriarchy, where it's a man's world and we're just living in it. That's kind of the basis of what patriarchy is. Women are not meant to be seen as leaders. They're not meant to be seen as powerful. We're meant to be seen as submissive. We're meant to be seen as, oh, men are leaders and we're just supposed to follow. We're not supposed to have our own things. We're meant to be baby makers. That's it. We have the babies and we just disappear. Like, we just get, or whenever you need us to come back again and make more babies, that's what we're here for. That's our sole purpose. And so, and we're also objects, like I said, sexual objects, and we're objectified in every sense of that word. And so when women don't do that, when they don't follow that agenda, when they just do what the hell they want, especially with their bodies, Oh, it's an uproar. I mean, even think about when people was there talking about abortions. Like, it was a whole big thing. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's always going back to this, oh, you're telling women what they need to do, because how dare they talk about what they want to do with themselves? How dare they talk about any sexual agency or freedom? Every time these challenges come up, it's always about, what about the children? Or it's all about, you're never going to get a job, or you're never going to get a man, or you're never going to get... Number one, how you know all these women doing these challenges even want a man? Like, there are queer women doing these challenges. They don't want no man. They don't care about no attention about no man. And not because every time a woman talks about sex or talks about sexuality or their body, does that have to do with men. You need to unlearn that. You need to separate yourself from the notion that you owning your body or being comfortable with your body has to do with getting the attention of men. Not everything a woman does is for the attention of a man. And men need to start realizing that it's not a man's world, okay? Like, women are not doing stuff for you. People, especially when people talk about makeup and girls are beating their face. You think women are sitting there beating their face for no man? Men don't even know what a cut crease is. They don't even know what natural makeup is. They be thinking Kim Kardashian and them got natural makeup on. Like, come on. What if we think people are doing that at the crack of dawn every morning for a man? You think people are sitting there, people used to get sitting down for hours getting their hair braided or getting a sewing or doing whatever for a man? Men are confused. Like I said, they want their women to be sexual so long as they're in control of it. They don't mind if you did a silhouette challenge and sent it to just him. It's when you're showing the world, are you showing the world my goodies? Or what belongs to me, my property? How dare you? That's what some of these men are doing. They don't mind seeing silhouette challenge of other women, but if it was their girlfriend, they would blow a gasket. They would blow a gasket because it's not allowed. This whole phenomenon, I'll never forget. In many rap songs and men's ideologies, I've heard men say this. Oh, I want a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. Why can't she be both? Why can't she be both? Did you ever sit there and ask yourself that? Why can't she be both? Oh, the moment a woman has agency over her body, the moment she's comfortable in her skin, or she wears clothes that suit her figure, or she just loves herself, or she's comfortable in her sexuality, it's this whole big conversation about modesty. Why the hell do you care? That's my question. Why do you care what Chloe's doing? Or any woman for that matter, because literally it's always a topic of conversation, whether it's Cardi B or Megan or even a Lizzo. And even Lizzo, let's talk about Lizzo for a second while we're at it, because I mean, I love that Chloe got all the support that she did, but Lizzo does not get that same support. It is a lot of people, a lot of women that, shame Lizzo for literally breathing. Like, and Lizzo is always, her brand has always been this body confidence and loving herself for being a bigger woman. And I loved it. I love it so much because I never seen something like that. The last time I seen some of that was Missy Elliott. So to see this girl who really just don't give a shit about like her body type, when the world constantly has told us from a young age that fat is bad and fat is not desirable, and she's sitting there and the cover of her cover of her album is her just being butt naked. It's beautiful. It's a masterpiece to me. Anytime I see Lizzo, it's just like, yes, you better go off. But a lot of people, they don't do that, and that's the fat phobia. It's that internalized fat phobia. Once again, you got to unlearn it because it's really just trash. Like, everybody ain't built like Chloe. Like, a lot of people are on the bigger side, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is why we need a people like Lizzo to be comfortable, so people realize that you don't have to be skinny and starve yourself and do all these things to fit in or be beautiful. You can be beautiful as you are. Like, it's nothing wrong with that. Like, people literally make a big deal, literally, of everything Lizzo does, to the point people claim they don't like her because she's doing too much. She don't even be saying that. I'm like, y'all let some of these thinner artists get away with everything, right? They have the most problematic things to say. They make problematic music. They're mediocre at best. Or they just do stuff that is dumb. And instead of just letting people just be dumb, y'all say nothing about that. But if Lizzo does something like the time when she wore that that dress to the Lakers game, and it was just the biggest conversation. Oh my God, this is disgusting. She needs to be put away. Like, what is this? This is horrible. Like, and I'm just like, is it though? Like, is it really that big of a deal? Like, I don't understand the problem here. Just leave her alone. I don't even think Lizzo has a Twitter anymore, because the way y'all basically bully her every single day. And that's the problem. It's like, y'all only protect women y'all are attracted to. I said it before, I'll say it again. Y'all only protect women that are conventionally attractive. You only protect, heterosexual, cisgendered women. You only protect, not fair. Because every woman deserves protection, especially because of these men. These men are confused. They're confused because they'll sit there and say, oh, I want a woman that just wants to be just a pretty face, right? They say, oh, you need to have more than a pretty face. You need to be smart. You need to be funny. You need to be all these things. Then you meet a woman who's outspoken, or she's really intelligent and she know what she be talking about, and y'all tell her, oh, that's why you ain't got no man, because you too busy reading them books, or you too busy talking too much. You talk too much. That's why you by yourself. Like, huh? So this is Kaylin editing. Excuse my poor lighting, but I had to get this out because it just came to me. It's the same to be said about black men who talk about women, or talk about women are too skinny or too big or whatever, and then women go and get a BBL or implants or what have you, and then they shame them for that, like, oh, I want a natural woman. No, you don't. Then you have women who are dark skinned and you make fun of them. We all know about color is over on this side. And then those women go and they get plastic surgery and they're like, oh, why did you do that? I liked your original face. Or men who shame women for wearing makeup. And then when they don't wear makeup, and let's say they have acne or acne scars or something like that, and they're like, oh my God, you're so ugly. Why don't you cover that up or get rid of it or whatever? Or when y'all talk about black women and their natural hair, you say, oh, I like a woman who has no weave and no wigs or whatever. And then she wears her natural hair and it's a 4C, or it's kinky, or it's not looking like the girls on television or whatever. It's not 3C. And you go and say, oh, you need to fix that. You need to do something about that. Do you see how I have these countless examples of men being very contradictory to the very things that they say? That's what I'm saying. Stop trying to appease these men, because at the end of the day, they don't even know what they want. Most of them have very deep insecurities they need to go fix. And it's not your job to fix them. It's not your job to appease them. You play clown games, you win clown prizes. Trying to uphold the patriarchy as a woman does nothing for you in the end, but beats you down, because once you don't adhere to those society standards or those patriarchal standards, they're gonna come right after you. They don't protect you. They don't care about you. And a real man would not care about any of that stuff. They wouldn't care. So why should you? Or you have a woman who is sexual and she's open about it, and you're like, oh, you a slut, you easy. That's the part that gets me. Y'all always talk about women being easy because they slept with you on the first night. But what are you? You slept with her as well. It takes two to tango. Why is she getting all the criticism? Oh, because you have a penis? Is that why? Patriarchy told you that? That doesn't make any damn sense. If you're gonna have these standards for yourself in your dating life, then you need to fit your own criteria, because according to your criteria, you're a slut too, my dude. Like, it doesn't make any sense, my love. Like, the math is not mathing. Y'all be telling women all these things. Oh, you can't be sexual. Don't be sexual. Be modest. Be a lady. And then you get with women and they're so timid to be sexual with you because the whole world told her from day one, don't do that. Don't be sexual. She doesn't even know anything about it. And then you say, oh, the sex with her was bad. Like, I wonder why it's bad. Because you don't. I mean, to be quite frank with y'all, to keep it a buck with y'all, a lot of men don't even really sleep with women for the pleasure of a woman. They do it for themselves. Hence why a lot of women don't get the big O when they sleep with men, because they don't care about you or what you want. And that's why, instead of you sitting there talking about y'all men talking about women and what they bring into the table, let's really sit down and you need to evaluate yourself of why you only care about women beyond sex. Because a lot of men, you talk to them, all they talk about is when they're trying to sleep with you, just to turn around and then talk bad about you for it. Like, I'll never forget growing up in high school and when, nudes were a big thing. And, girls would send guys nudes, and then there'd be the exposed pages on Facebook, and Instagram, and people would sit there and comment and say, oh, this girl's disgusting, oh, this girl is trash, why would someone ever do that, da, da, da. I'm like, most of these girls were 12, 13, 14 years old. Do you remember being very smart at 12 and 13 and 14 years old? Like, no. You had a guy, you liked him, you guys were dating or talking or what have you, and he asked you to send you a nude, and you sent it, and now, did you think those girls thought that their nudes would be all over the World Wide Web for years to come? No. Did they think that people were sitting there talking crazy about them? No. They thought that this was a guy they liked, and they thought, you know what? I want to get the affections of this guy, and if he's asking for it, why not? What's the worst that can happen? And obviously the worst happened. And it used to just disgust me, because I'm just like, y'all really getting mad at these women when these men were out here basically doing child pornography? What? It's like, even when women, when their nudes get leaked, like adult women, when their nudes get leaked and people shame them for it, like, well, you shouldn't have been sending nudes anyway. But anytime a man's nudes get leaked, if his what is big, it gets praised. He gets more attention. Make it make sense. And I mean, a lot of this has to do with religion, and we live in America's very Christian-centered, like Catholic-centered. And I mean, if you subscribe to Christianity, I'll talk about Christianity because I grew up in church. Your whole life, you were told, you would hear certain rules and regulations, and in the Bible, it tells you no sex before marriage, none of that stuff. You're basically told, hey, there is no talk. It's don't have sex ever until you get married. And so a lot of these Christian men are projecting their ideals onto women who are not Christian. And it's crazy because y'all sit there and talk about modesty or tell women, oh, y'all need to stop doing silhouette challenges and whatever. And like I said, there are certain pastors who make it their life's mission to constantly preach to women what they need to do to get a man. Like, that's their whole life's purpose, to get a man, right? And it don't even got to be Christian, but men in general, that's what they do. But if you're really adhering to Christianity, you don't, the whole concept of, not, he who is without sin not throw the first stone, like basically meaning we all done some stupid stuff. We've all sinned technically. So why is your sin better than this person's sin? You're not perfect. You're a human. You messed up. So why do you constantly feel the need to be on your high horse and talk crap about the next person? Also, Jesus hung out with some real interesting folks. He hung out with women that you wouldn't consider modest by today's standards. He would do that. In that whole statement I just mentioned about him talking about not throwing the first stone or whatever, was for a woman who was known to be, sleeping around. So it's like, who are you to judge anybody? If Jesus wasn't judging nobody, why are you judging people? You see how I'm saying? You see, I could find things in the same Bible you used to persecute women. I could find several other ones that are telling you what you're doing is stupid. Like, you could just mind your business. If you don't like women who do stuff like that, don't date them. You don't have to take it to social media. You don't have to make think pieces about it. You don't have to make podcasts, about it. You don't have to make sermons about it. Like, mind the business that pays you. Because you know what? That is why all these pastors, like, they be getting into some shenanigans, cheating on their wives and sleeping with their church members and all of that stuff. And it gets swept underneath the rug. But a woman, like, if a girl got pregnant at church, it was the talk of the town. Talk of the town. She was shunned. She was shamed, all of it. And that's the problem. Y'all make sex this shameful thing. And that's when bad stuff happens to people, they don't even want to say anything. Because what are you going to do at the beginning of it all? You're going to shame her. Because don't get me started on the T.I. situation. And even talking about T.I., apart from with the scandal that he's in, everyone praised T.I. for talking about how he checked his daughter's hymen. He checks his daughter's hymen, or he only spends time with her for thought prevention hours so she doesn't end up being a stripper. And it's like, and people praised him for, like, they're like, oh, if y'all daddies don't love you, just say that. I'm like, my daddy loves me and he never did none of that foolishness, like, ever. Like, I don't understand what your logic is in that. You're not going to spend time with your daughter because you love her or because she's a real person. You want to develop a relationship with her. You want to do it so that she doesn't end up with a you, because that's essentially what you're saying. you check your daughter's hymen to see that she's not a virgin, and what does that mean if she wasn't? Are you gonna kill her now? Is she now somehow less precious to the world? Because that's what y'all do. Y'all hold women's value based on if they have had sex or not, when at the end of the day, we all got here because somebody had sex. Your mamas had sex with your daddies, no? And for some of us, our parents weren't married. So does that make your mother a hoe? No. No. That's why it's stupid. The logic is stupid. We all had to get here somewhere, somehow. We got here from the same reason. So why are you shaming people for it? You're human. It's in your biological nature to want to do that with somebody, unless you're asexual. There's nothing wrong with it. And I'm tired of the shame that y'all are inflicting on people because y'all really just insecure with yourselves and you're projecting on other people. You praise T.I. for being overprotective when really he's just trash. And I ain't one to tell people how to parent, but that's not it. When you be overprotective of women like that, you're just teaching her how to just be an object and not be a person and not speak on what you want to say. Because poor Deja, I heard when she was talking about, when they were talking about the busted challenge, and people were like, oh, you should do it. And she's like, I ain't even going to do it. Because either A, T.I. is going to harass her for it, or B, people are going to harass her for it in the name of T.I. And that's not fair. She should be free to do whatever the hell she wants. And when you are so overprotective of your daughters and do all that nonsense, they're going to do it anyway. It doesn't solve anything. You think you're preventing her from being a quote-unquote thought? No. And you can't sit there and talk about, oh, you're preventing her from being a thought. When you're a thought, T.I., you have several kids. Please, they're not all tinies. You've cheated on Tiny before, as well as your other girlfriends in the past. You what? You have misogynist lyrics. It's a mad thing. And that's what I'm saying. You need to stop trying to think about pleasing men, because these pick-me-shits are out here on Twitter, and I told you I like to use that phrase, but that's exactly what it is. It's giving Meredith Grey, pick me, choose me, love me, okay? When y'all bother other women and say, oh, well, I don't do that, or you need to stop doing that. You're never going to find a man. Newsflash, everyone doesn't want to be a wife. Everybody doesn't want to be a mother. Some women just want to live and exist and just have joy in being alone. We would be so much happier if we learned that marriage is not the end all be all. Yes, you can be married, but sometimes this is why you end up being desperate, choosing trash men, and then you stay in loveless marriages because you just want to be a wife, because that's your biggest thing. No, there's more to life than being a wife. There's more to being a woman than being a wife. There's more to life than pleasing men. If you want to dance and twerk and wear short shorts and do all of that, you do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Don't let these men shame you. Some of these girls, they wish. They're mad about it. That's what they're bothering you. But yeah. Leave Chloe the hell alone. That's what this is for. Leave Chloe alone. Leave Lizzo alone. Megan. Anybody. Any woman. Big, small, all of it. Black, dark skin, brown skin, light skin. Leave them alone. Non-binary folks, leave them alone. If they want to bust it, if they want to do a little silhouette challenge to make themselves feel good or show off what they got, you can always not look. You can always just keep scrolling. That's always an option. You be taking all this energy to critique strangers for what? Does that make you feel better? Do you feel better now? Oh, you told a woman what to do with her body. Do you feel better now? Bring down another woman to bring yourself up to try to please some man. You need to search within yourself why you want. I should really say, if you're into men and you want to be with a man, the right man is going to be mature enough to acknowledge that you are a sexual being just as he is. And just because you're in tune with your sexuality or in tune with your body or you love your body or whatever, that doesn't make you any less valuable. It does not make you not a woman that can bring everything to the table. It does not make you not a good mother. It doesn't make you not a good person. I don't understand why somebody's morality is tied to that. What does that have to do with anything? It has nothing to do with it, because at the end of the day, it's not about that. You do want women to be sexual, just under your terms. And that's scary. But let's do that for everyone, even girls that aren't famous. girls that aren't conventionally attractive. Just leave them alone. Give them a like. Shoot. Boost her. Like, yes, girl. Go off. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. I mean, show Chloe some love. Show Halle some love. Listen to Ungodly Hour. It's an amazing album. Listen to Lizzo. Listen to Cause I Love You. It's an amazing album. Listen to Stinking Good News by Megan Thee Stallion. Good album. Support a Black woman today. Okay? Love on a Black woman today. Famous or not. It's time for us to do better. Please. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Peace out, y'all.